Alright, hello everyone, this is Sir Francis Friend. Today we're talking about exclusively just news, no video games today. And we are talking about, for our first article, a Mr. Adam Sabes, and an article that he wrote. Now, he graduated college in 2019, and it doesn't say when he started working at Fox. We're just going to assume 2019, 2020, somewhere in there. He's only been working for Fox for a couple years is the point. So he's new to this. And we're going to be looking at this article here, titled Antifa Members Clash with Anti-Vaccine Protesters Outside New York City's Gracie Mansion. The event comes amid a wave of anti-vaccine mandates, protests in New York City and around the country, which is great news. And it really is true, there's been so many anti-vaccine mandate protests all over the US, especially in New York though, where you see them huge groups all marching together. And so with this particular one, Mr. Sabes writes, Antifa radicals and anti-vaccine protesters appeared to clash Saturday night outside Gracie Mansion, the mayoral residence in New York City. The event comes amid a wave of anti-vaccine mandate protests in New York City and around the country. One independent journalist on Twitter recorded a confrontation between the two sides that included one person called the anti-vaccine mandate protests Nazi scum, which is typical of Antifa. And of course, here we get the response. America First protesters were also seen shouting F Antifa during the protests. Again, typical response from the right. One Antifa person was heard saying, stop acting tough, bro, blah, blah, blah. That part's not as important. So this article doesn't seem like anything's wrong with it. The protest he's talking about was run by Nick Fuentes. And it's not said. Nick Fuentes' name is kind of like Voldemort. You're not allowed to say it because if these boomers find out and they start watching Nick Fuentes, I think he would become way more popular than what he is, and he's already super popular. So Nick Fuentes isn't named. You can't really expect Fox News to be naming Nick Fuentes in a good way anyways. So this article seems fine, right? But it's not. This is a edited version of this article. This is not what originally was posted. Now, if we look at what was actually posted, this is from Archive and the Wayback Machine. We have the original headline, Antifa members clash with white nationalists over COVID vaccine mandate outside New York City's Gracie Mansion. And then same subtitle. And so they write, Antifa protesters and a white nationalist group appeared to clash at an anti-vaccine mandate protest held outside Gracie Mansion in New York City on Saturday night. Far-right activist Nick Fuentes organized the protest against vaccine mandates outside of the Gracie Mansion Saturday night, where Antifa groups also showed up to confront the group, the Groyper Army. Oh boy. The ADL considers the Groyper Army as a white supremacist group. So Mr. Sabes here, he's getting his information from the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. The people that say Pepe the Frog is a hate symbol, right? That's where he's getting his news from and where he's learning about people. And so it goes on to explain a little bit. Nick Fuentes and all white nationalists out of New York City come out. Defend the BLM, Memorial Vigil, blah, blah, blah. They're saying F Antifa, stop acting tough, bro, that's all the same. But the point of this is, Adam Sabes had to change this article. He got caught in his lie because Nick Fuentes isn't a white nationalist and the Groypers are not white nationalists. It's not a white nationalist movement. Adam Sabes got caught lying. Fox, by the way, okayed this article and it was put onto the website, but they had to change it because we called them out. And that's important. Who has the power? We have the power. Fox News is not on our side. No mainstream media is on our side. It's you versus them. And we have power. You have to call these people out, get emails going, start tweeting, make a scene, and things will change. And so this is kind of lesson is twofold. Again, we have the power, but also you can't trust these mainstream news. Don't trust Fox News. The only good thing that's coming out of Fox News is Tucker Carlson. Everything else is garbage like this. It's awful, and you can't listen to it. Stand up for yourself. Support independent journalists that aren't these like gay, faggy lefties. People, Nick Fuentes, Vincent James, Michelle Malkin, people like that. That's who you need to support. That's where you need to get your information from. And boomers, unfortunately, aren't going to learn this because if you're getting these articles, you're going to be going to Fox News and stuff like that. That's where boomers are getting them from. Us younger people that are kind of on the dissident right, we're going to things like Twitter and stuff like that to get a lot of our news, and boomers roll their eyes at that, and they're never going to use it. And they're never going to use any guys like independent kind of personalities to get their news from, unfortunately. But as the boomers die off, I think there will be a flip. But anyways, on to our second article that we're going to be looking at, or not article, I guess, our second Twitter thread. When I was scrolling through Twitter today, I saw someone brought up Panther Den, and he says, "I miss Panther Den." And you know, I hadn't thought about Panther Den in a long time. And his edits are so good. He makes like he made Twitter memes, and then he got banned from Twitter, and he pretty much just disappeared off the face of the earth. But his quality to this day has been unmatched. It's so good. I mean, I'm a Biggie Song respecter. I'm a Biggie Song loyalist. But frankly, no one has ever been close to how good Panther Den is. So to remember our man Panther Den, we'll watch this meme here, just because it's so good. It's so Kino, dude.
Nick, where are you, Nick? Stand up. Get up here, Nick. Come on.
It's so good. And I'm not just showing this to you just because I think it's good, though it is. There is a lesson behind this, and that's that we need people to start making right-wing entertainment media. Right? Panther Den had a huge account. I don't know how many followers he had, but it was huge, right? Everyone on the dissident right knew who Panther Den was and respected Panther Den, and they watched every single one of his edits. And now there's that hole. No one's really filling that hole that well. There's very few people. The only example that I could find, and he doesn't even have a Twitter account, or he does have a Twitter account, but this wasn't posted to his Twitter account, is Chicken Right. And so we can watch this too, and this also links back to our previous article that we were reading. This is the same protest that was brought up through Mr. Sabe's Fox article. So we go ahead and watch this as well. It's very Kino.
Fighting the bastards in power too! Yeah! And the military and the government, if you're not with us, then you're against us! Here they are!
And that's pretty much the end of that. That just goes a little bit longer. And the point to this is we need to fill this hole with right-wing entertainment in the media. We need more people making things like this. That's also the hole that I'm trying to fill by making this video. We need more people making content. And the America First Nick Fuentes is frankly where the excitement is at, and that's where it's going to come from. The National Justice Party doesn't have any excitement whatsoever, in my opinion. There's nothing good going on there. Some wignets making some edits that aren't going to get popular at all. You're not going to get anyone on your side doing that. So we need this hole filled. Chicken Right's doing a good job at it, but no one's been as quality as Panther Den. So hopefully we can get more people in, and hopefully this inspires you. Start making some meme edits or make some YouTube videos. Do something. Try to get more people involved in the dissident right and see that we're not the evil white nationalists as Mr. Sabes was calling us. And then for our final article, a little bit of a white pill, Wendy Rogers today, November 15th, said, "Take Nick Fuentes off the no-fly list." She tweeted this. Now, this doesn't seem like a big deal, right? It was just a tweet sent out. Nothing is actually going to be done because she sent this tweet out. But this is actually huge. This is a sitting senator who is saying Nick Fuentes' name and added to the list of government officials who are saying it. Now we have both Paul Gosar and Wendy Rogers who have brought up Nick Fuentes. And this is big. This really is big. This is going to help Nick get into the mainstream. And as I said before, Nick is where the excitement is at. America First is where the excitement is at. So even if you disagree with what Nick is saying and you agree more with the National Justice Party and stuff like that, you should be happy that Nick Fuentes' name is being said, because we have more in common than we do differences. And he needs to be propelled into the mainstream. And it'll take a long time, I think, just because all the censorship that's going on, he's being pushed back. But hopefully he can kind of take steps where Alex Jones failed and kind of going not into obscurity, but kind of falling off as far as having like actual congressmen, congresswomen saying who it is and saying his name. All right. Well, anyways, guys, that's going to be it. Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions or anything like that, please let me know. Hopefully this can bring kind of a newer audience in and we can kind of build a little bit of a community here. I'm looking forward to it. So again, any questions, concerns, comments, anything like that, just let me know. I'm very open to new ideas. And thank you guys again for watching. Bye-bye.